Today we're going to take some time to look at the Subject Matter Expert Personal Resources Inventory, or SMEPRI. What this is designed to do is allow instructional designers to interview a subject matter expert and then quantify their responses. They can use this instrument as it's set out now. Just read through the questions and input the data. Also going to show you how you can just directly use it to input data from your own interviews. The first thing about this tool is that it's built in Adobe Reader. It's a PDF that's writable, printable, and savable. And so that's the program that it opens up in, the free Adobe Reader. As you can see, there's different categories: time, experience, attitude, pedagogy, and then data. Each one of these tabs is linked to a different page, so you can navigate within the tool just like you would in a website. So let's look at the first category, time. On the average, how much time can you commit to developing this course? Now this has some calculated fields, so if I put in 15 hours here, and let's say I put in 10 hours here and 5 hours here, that's going to show me how much development time would be necessary, or total time would be necessary during the development phase. If the instructor's not going to be developing themselves, you could just blank that out, and then you would get their commitment of hours per week. There's a notes section down here where you can type notes. That way, if you're asking open-ended questions or just want to put information that you've gathered, you can just drop it right into there. In the experience section, first it asks them to talk about the types of experience that they've had with online learning in general. And then this is an open-ended question that you can follow up with that. And again, a notes field down here. There's a second screen that asks them of the online experience they've had with chats and blogs and video conferences, discussion boards. And again, another suggested open-ended question and a series of notes. In the attitude section, there's a general question and a more specific question. For pedagogy, there's 7 different questions, and you can follow along with those. And then finally we come to the data tab back here. So what the data view is going to show is all the notes that you've typed into the individual sections, which are color-coded. Time is this green color, experience is this blue color, attitude is this salmon color, and then pedagogy is everything on the bottom here. The idea is if you have extensive notes that you're going to want to go through and summarize them at this point. We also have a way to quantitatively grade each of these categories within the category: development, facilitating, evaluating, and then a total score. Now these are just little radio buttons that you can turn on and turn off. And the way that I would approach using this scale as an instructional designer is looking at the amount of development that they want to that they're conducting for this course in relation to the amount of time that they can spend developing it or what they're asking for. I would give them a grade. So, for instance, if they're asking for some very complicated things, but they have a lot of time and willingness to work in the development, then I might say, okay, that's a green or maybe the second yellow. Conversely, if they were to say, yeah, I want this and this and this and this and this, but they don't have any time to help in the development of that, or what they're asking for might be outside of their ability to facilitate, then I might score them lower, kind of a little bit of a warning sign there in development, Or, I might say, well, this person wants to do a lot. They don't have a lot of experience, so that's a little bit of a red flag for me. So again, this is a way to quantify the information that you've received from the subject matter expert, and it could be helpful if you're turning it over to another instructional designer to work with the information that you've gathered, or let's say working with a program team. The other option for using the SMEPRI is to just open up to the data page, especially once you're familiar with the instrument. That way you can just directly type the notes into these fields here, type some of the notes into the questions here, and record which types of feedback mechanisms that the instructor is comfortable with for feedback going out and feedback coming in. And then you can also quantify what you feel are the strengths and weaknesses of the instructor by using these indicators up here. And that way, for you and your other team members, you're going to know which strengths to really focus on in the design and weaknesses that you will want to try and mitigate. And of course, you can save all this data. The best thing to do is when you first open up the file, you're going to want to rename it. And you could just put the subject matter expert's name in there, or some other identifying remarks, and then save it. And that way, keep the original file that you downloaded as your master copy, and then create a working copy each time that you use it.